Hello and welcome to the immigration and its effect on people. Tonight, my guest is from Romania. Her name is Manuella. They call her Manny. She's a mother of two children and she's a nurse practitioner. I'm gonna let her tell her story to tell us how does it look like to immigrate from Romania to the US and what brought her to this country. Please help me welcome Manny. It's a little bit, different. When we met the first time, we didn't have a lot of time to talk about what brought you to this country. And as far as I know, it's a successful story. So, to start with, when you hear the word immigration, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
A lot of things. First was difficulty settling in, and for me was going to school, and because I came here when I was 16, so was scared of the unknown, how things are going in here, how will I go back to school, because I came here when I was in high school. Will I learn? I spoke a little bit of English, but will I be able to settle in? Will I fit in? Will I be able to go to college? And will I be able to handle things on my own? Because I came on my own.
You came by yourself?
Yes.
You had nobody here to wait for you? You
No,
just...
my grandma's sister.
Oh, I see. And how was it like to immigrate by yourself? The adventure was attractive to you, or what was your idea about this country? Why did you immigrate?
Well, at the beginning it's very exciting, the first few days, because it's all about, back then it was all about America, great Miami. I came to South Florida, so it was all about, let's go see Miami, learning the culture, the foods, and it was my first time when I came. I learned about Chinese food, Italian food, Japanese. I learned that I can go to any kind of restaurant from every country. So the first few days, because I just finished school, was very exciting. But then once the days were going by and I was deciding if I want to stay, then I became nervous, because I realized I'm 16 and I'm on my own, and you need a lot of support. When I was talking to other people, it wasn't easy to pay, your expenses, your school, and everything else. And I learned that you need to have your green card, your citizenship, and there's no rights, not many rights for immigrants, no health insurance. And then the fears start to settle in, and then you trying to figure out if you'll make it. So then you decide if it's better here or better home. And
so when you came in as an immigrant or as a visitor?
as a visitor.
As a visitor. So you came in to check it out.
Yes.
To see if this country is, like, to me, is a good fit, or maybe it was an adventure to go to America, the country of freedom, to see this, to see that.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh, so
Kind of like get away from home and have fun, and then see if I would like it, because it's much better than home. That's what people used to say.
So when you came in, what was your first impression?
It was my first impression that it was fun, but at the same time, it's not fun if you don't have the right resources, and that life for immigrants is actually very difficult, and that the people that have the rights, or they're not immigrants, have the false impression that as soon as we come in, we get all this for free, and we don't get anything for free. Actually,
Work hard to get.
correct. I didn't get anything for free. No health insurance, no benefits, pretty much no nothing.
So you had to work hard.
Yes,
And
you can't really
hustle.
work, so you can't work. You don't have health insurance. You don't get a place to stay, so you have to wait for your documents for everything before you can accomplish anything. And then you don't have a car, so you have to have a lot of social support in order to make it.
Wow, so I can only imagine when you came in just to visit, and then it hits you, oh, maybe I can stay, but here I am. I have no papers, I
And
have
I
to
had
start
$600 in my pocket.
Oh my God! And how did you get the courage? How did you have the guts to apply and, you know, to work under the table and to prepare your documents? So the process to go through the paper and get yourself from being illegal to legal, how was it? Can you take us to this journey a little bit?
Well, because then I started going with my aunt, with my grandma's sister, I call her my aunt. I started going to church, and then I hang out with the girls from church, and then, you know, they would take me out to restaurants, and they would have their own car, and we would go to the movies, and then shopping, and then I wanted to have what they had. I felt like they had the freedom to drive, because that was the age when I technically could have been able to drive in the States, not in my country. My country is 18. So then I felt like they had something that I didn't have, and I wanted what they had. The freedom to drive, the independence. Remember, back home I was under my mom's income.
Yeah.
And I'm very hardworking. So I felt like here, if I can work it and make it, I can have anything I want. So I was like, well, I'm not lazy, I can work. So I wanted to, and I said I can go to school. So just school was very expensive. While you were waiting on your documents, you paid 3 times more. So I had to take one class at a time while I was waiting on my documents.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, my aunt was my guardian. So I registered at high school, and then I had to work for, you know, under the table, so to say, and I was making very little money, so I had to do like 2-3 jobs at a time.
Wow.
While going to high school. Then I tried to shorten the high school time, so I would take nighttime classes, because you can finish high school in 3 years instead of 4, but you have to go to nighttime classes. So I had to do that to shorten in order to be able to make income to support myself.
Wow.
To pay bills.
So it wasn't like the GED. The GED
No.
is the alternative of the high
Correct.
school.
No, I went to regular high school.
But at
I
night-
transferred my credits, and then once you finish the regular high school, you still go at night.
I see, because they eliminate the electives.
The-
People who are during the day, they take electives, but when you go at night, you don't take
Yeah,
electives.
technically they said the 4th year is like, you only need a credit or 2.
Exactly.
So the rest is just extra credits.
Electives.
So me, that credits, I was doing them at night.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yes, I guess you can get college credits in the 4th year. So I was like, well, I don't need that right now. I just need to finish regular high school. So that's what I was doing them at night.
Wow.
So I finished. And then I went to college, but I was taking one class at a time because it was very expensive. As an international student, they would consider
Wow.
me.
Yeah, it's tuition times 3.
Yes.
Wow. So from the time you petitioned to be legal to get
Took
your,
5
it
years.
took you 5 years. Wow. So meanwhile, you finished your schooling. Did you finish your degree in college, or what?
Yeah.
Wow. So what did you study? What was your major?
Well, I did associates in science first time. Then I did associates in arts, and then I got associates in nursing, I think it's called. And then I got my bachelor in nursing.
Mhm.
And in 2018, I got my master's in nursing to become a nurse practitioner.
Wow.
And that was enough for me.
It's been a long journey, of course.
Yeah.
And you know, working 3 times job, and all of that while you've been married. Why? Can you take us a little bit to this place where you went to school, when you worked at the same time, and you were married, and you were having kids? How did you manage?
Actually, it was very difficult. I always had 2 jobs while in school all the time, and then at one point, after I finished my bachelor, actually, some point in there, I got married, and then I had 2 kids, and then I decided to go for my master's with the 2 kids, and I still had to work to pay my bills, because
You were
taking a
determined.
loan was not something that I grew up knowing to have debt, so I didn't want to have a loan and then to leave off the loan, and I had to pay. And I don't qualify for
Financial aid.
financial aid.
Well, what scholarship you want to apply to?
There's
I
no
understand.
scholarship either
Available
many
sometimes.
available.
Sometimes, yeah.
So I still had to work full time, still got to go to school. I had one single day off most of the time, a week.
Wow.
So we had to go to work all day or clinicals, then come home and do homework at night and work the rest of the day, and then you have one day to study, see your
Wow.
kids maybe at night. It was very difficult. Actually,
You were
we had
so
a bad
funny.
relationship
Oh.
with my spouse, and that ended in that. But it made who I am today, and I finished my career somehow.
Wow. We're proud of you.
And debt free, I was able to pay my student
That's
loan.
congratulations. Yeah, honestly, it's something. Hat off for your effort. Tell me a little bit about back home. Did they have this idea about being in the United States, like working hard, working 2, 3 jobs, or like, oh, being in America, you can have like a good life, easy? What was their idea about the United States? Was it like the same as yours before you came?
Just like sometimes in America, people that are not immigrants, they think immigrants have it easy and get everything free. Also, sometimes I'm from Romania, and in Romania, people think they come to the United States and it's easy life. They have the impression that we make a lot of money easy, but not all of them. If some of them have family and friends, they understand. It all depends what job you have or how would you work, and if you go to school or not to have a career. If you just come in here, you don't speak the language and you don't have the right support, it's difficult to get ahead and get a good career and get a good check. Some people that I know, if they don't work hard or they don't have, like I said, support and go to school, they don't make good income. It's not easy, and it wasn't easy for me to work 2, 3 jobs, go through all this school, pay all this debt, and but yeah, some of them do have the impression they come to America, make a lot of money, and have good life. No, it took a lot of sacrifice, unslept nights, give up a lot of vacation, no hair, no makeup done for days.
I know, exactly, I understand. So, the freedom, the idea of freedom, when you came to this country, did you feel like, wow, this is the country of freedom, this is what I had in my mind, or you find like this is the country of laws? There is no actually room to wiggle in. What was your idea about freedom before and now?
I don't have the same opinion about the freedom.
How come?
From personal opinion, I don't deal much with the court except my own divorce and dealing with that and my children. I think they only speak of freedom of certain things, that we have freedom, but I realize there's a lot of things that we don't have actually a right to choose, that they make us do certain things that...
Like what, if you can give us an example?
Like, well, I'm in healthcare just now, and I believe, I mean, I did myself the COVID vaccine, but I've seen a lot of colleagues and nurses lost their job because they didn't get vaccinated. I think that should be their choice. So I think
Even
that's
if they
against that freedom.
Yeah, but for them you jeopardize the safety of other people.
Yes and
Especially
no, but you still wear the mask and you still wear the thing, so I don't think that vaccine is... They still wear all the gear regardless of the vaccine.
So they were protected.
So that won't make a difference, because the same thing with the flu vaccine.
Exactly.
It's same principle. If you could give people the flu, or they could give it to you, and back then, before COVID came, if you didn't do your vaccine, you had to wear a mask. So it's the same thing. You don't do the COVID, you have to wear it. But now with the COVID, you have to wear like mask and gown.
Wow.
So by you telling me to inject myself with something, I mean, they still studying. Like I said, I vaccinated myself, but it was because it was my choice. I still think people should have a choice. But remember, they still have to wear all the gear, so that's still protecting. And vaccine is COVID is not 100%.
Right.
Still, people with vaccines still get. So
they're still studying and they didn't get to any result yet. Everything is still in the air because it's a new disease, it's a new pandemic,
And
and now they say,
yeah.
oh no, it's an endemic and what have you, but
Yes,
yeah.
but I think as long as they could make them to um, they could make them wear the gear. I think
Yeah,
that's something
as a
mandatory.
democratic country, yeah.
They can make them do that.
Yeah, but the fear was, overwhelming. I can understand that, but I can understand also your point of view. I think you're right,
To
absolutely
wear the
right.
mask
Yeah.
and the thing, yes.
Because it's the same thing as the flu. The procedure is the same to protect yourself and protect other people. Let's go to another subject, even though I'm gonna jump. In the workforce and in the society as an immigrant, did you encounter any problem, any any discrimination? I meant to say, did you feel like you're in the right place, you're welcomed, everybody's helping you? Because most of the time we have a lot of support, people are kind, but as immigrants we feel like some people are not treating us well. Did that happen to you? Did you encounter any
My
problem?
last job, I felt I didn't like. My boss told me I have an accent, and he told me that I cannot leave a voice message because I have an accent. So I felt offended, and I felt
Wow.
like he should be in trouble. That I felt discriminated against, and
Right.
he said it in front of everyone. And very rare.
He put you on the spot?
Yeah, like he's all. I think it was me and another colleague. He said that we have an accent, and we're supposed to record a voicemail on the phone. And he told me and her we cannot do it because we have accent, and they might not understand us. That
Oh,
to me
that
is
hurts.
discrimination.
Of course.
You shouldn't say that.
Of
But he
course.
said that he can do it because he's from summer. I don't care. You cannot say that.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people, very rare, not frequent, but it did happen. They say like, "Where are you from?" And I hear people talking. They think that because we are immigrants, they feel like we take their jobs, and
Oh,
that they don't
they
have
forget
jobs.
that we pay taxes.
Yes, and I hear them, but not in my everyday job. But I hear people talking, and they don't like us, or I hear them when they debate politics. They against the immigrants getting rights, and it hurts.
Yeah, and this country is based on immigrant and immigration,
But I
and
hear
we're all American, we're not immigrant anymore. I cannot believe how this conception of immigration is getting politics and as if we're illegal. Hello, we're paying taxes.
Yeah.
We're more American than
Sometimes
you.
it's frustrating because sometimes when I look at work, I work with a different group of people. They hire
From
Philippine,
different
American,
ethnicities,
whatever.
yeah.
Sometimes the ones that are immigrant work harder than the people here.
Exactly. We want to prove ourselves, so we work 3 times
Yeah.
more.
So
And they
it's
give
kind
us,
of
they dump all the
frustrating.
work on us, I guess.
It's kind of frustrating.
I know.
But I've seen that.
So raising kids in this country, in the United States, what do you think about that? Is it a good place to raise kids?
Honestly, sometimes very hard and frustrating because I feel like I was raised to much higher standards, and I feel like here is way off. Like kids, the school system is way easier and not.
Do your best. Do your best.
Mm.
So in our country, they said, you do the best of your best.
But there's no homework. Sometimes there's no books. So I can't even tell what my kid is doing. But also, the kids today is just like cell phones, less respect for adults, and I feel like we are telling, I don't know, like we're telling them the elderly have more respect in my country and your parents than here. We are we are too we are teaching them not to be, I feel like, so strong people. And
Yeah,
like
we're
getting
mellow.
them, yes, getting them ready for real life. We just say, oh, it's okay. We like more. We're raised to be more tough and more
Responsible.
and more responsible. Here, I feel like we're doing everything for them, and we spoil them too much, and are teaching them that we want to have everything for them and we owe it to them. They don't need to earn it.
Imagine that. So it's very difficult for you to make your children understand that you need to earn that so I can give it to you.
And here,
Because the peer
yeah.
pressure is high.
And we try to see what can, like I heard somebody, it's like, what can we earn from the country instead of like, what can we do? Like, just like I hope,
Kennedy,
what can I
yeah.
help my mom is like, what can I get off of her? Like,
Exactly. So, the last question I would like to ask you is, what did the immigration teach you?
the life is difficult, but if you work hard, I think you can flourish anywhere you go and you can still prevail, and you should never forget your roots and still do your best to teach. But immigration is not easy. To migrate to another country and get accustomed to their
Traditions,
tradition, but
values.
it's important to keep your tradition and your
Right.
values, and it takes time, but it's very important that it starts with you to pass it on to your children.
And are you able to keep the traditions, the values that you brought up, you know,
It's
from
hard.
your country?
It's hard because my kids socialize all day, and unless you get friends with another group that wants to do the same, they get lost.
I know because they belong to another culture at home, and so they want
Yeah,
to
they
fit
don't
in.
even speak Romanian, my children.
You speak Romanian to them?
I
sometimes?
try, but I forget, and then it's like they don't
Oh.
speak it.
So if I give you the choice to go back to your country or to stay here, what would you choose? What would you choose?
If I could get my job home, I might go.
So why not? Why you
Because
can?
right now I couldn't work anything in my country.
But you're a nurse practitioner.
They don't take my license. It's good for nothing there.
They don't do any equivalent. I heard that a nurse practitioner can prescribe medicine. It's almost like when you study 7 years of medicine, you still have 3 years interest to
I
be.
know, but I guess it's because the school, I don't know, they don't take my license there.
So they're like more, they have higher standard in Romania.
I don't know, but my
Wow.
sister said my license is not good. So what would I do there? Go back to high school?
Oh my God. That sounds, that stinks, you know? Oh my God. So
Only from Europe. If I were to study in Europe, London, Germany, or something like that,
wow,
I couldn't earn an income. What would I do there?
that sucks. Yeah. I feel like you're happy here, but at the same time, I wish I can go back.
I miss my sister.
You miss your
feel like-
parents and your relatives, or maybe everything in your country.
My relatives mostly, the people.
Do you go visit sometimes?
Yeah, I'm actually about to go soon.
Oh, really?
I'm
For
very happy.
vacation? So I wish you a nice vacation, and it was really nice meeting you today and listen to your story. It was very nice. So thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best for your future and your children's future.
Thank you.
So thank you, and we'll see you next time.